If you've ever heard other school owners talking about parent night outs or special events and wondered why should your students participate in these sort of events or what are the benefits of these sort of events, then this video is for you, coming up. Hey guys, Andrew here, bringing you tips and tools for your kids' martial arts programs to help you motivate, cultivate, and inspire. Hey guys, thanks for dropping in. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video every Wednesday. Special events are a lot of fun and they're great sources of extra income for yourself or even for your staff members, but sometimes we're a little nervous to run them or to just dive in because we haven't yet cracked the code. Lucky for you, we have cracked that code here at my school in St. Pete, Florida. So I'm here to help you be able to communicate some of the social and emotional benefits of the kids that attend these events, as well as give you a few tips and hints on how to run these events successfully. All right, so there are two things that we're going to want to communicate to our parents. These are going to be the social and then the emotional benefits of attending our parent night outs or our special events. Now, a lot of these kind of seem obvious, but a lot of the parents, they don't quite understand what the event entails. So by communicating this, we're going to be able to add more value, ease some of their concerns, and then be able to sell them on coming to our events. So looking at these social benefits, these guys are going to be able to make new friends. You know, a lot of times our students are in one specific classroom and they're kind of in a bubble, or they might have friends that are in classes below or above or that come on different days. So this is a time where they can all get together, hang out with each other, and meet new people and make their existing relationships even stronger. The next benefit is that they're going to be able to spend time playing and having a good time with their instructors. So parents, if you've ever had to use your instructor's name at home, then by coming to special events, they're going to continue to develop that deeper relationship with their instructors so that their name still carries the same weight as it normally would. Finally, socially, they're going to have a lot of structured play, which is important, so they're going to be able to have a lot of fun without it getting out of hand. Now, when it comes to the emotional side of our special events, when the kids come, typically we have themed events, so they're going to be able to express their creativity by wearing all sorts of different costumes and being able to just be themselves and relax at these events. Finally, they're going to be able to overcome some of that separation anxiety. We see this a lot in the younger kids, anywhere from 3 to 6-year-olds, where when they're left alone at a friend's house for too long or at school for too long or in a place where they're just not comfortable, they get a lot of anxiety and that pumps up the cortisol in their system and is just not good for their development. So in a place where they're comfortable, like our karate school, they're going to be comfortable, they're going to be having fun, and they're going to be able to work through some of those emotions so that they can begin to move past that social anxiety. The next way that we're going to be able to move forward and make sure that our event is a success is by having a plan. Remember, we don't always plan to fail, but we do fail to plan. So the first part is going to be making sure that you have a Facebook group solely for your parents. What we're going to want to do here is at least 2 to 3 times a week leading up to the event, we're going to want to make a couple different posts throughout the week that are just informing them of what we're doing at the event, the times, and any other details. And then if you happen to run a weekly newsletter, go ahead and include it in the weekly newsletter as well. And then don't forget, announcements during class are probably the best way that you're going to have to communicate this to your parents. So definitely don't forget that. Now finally, the week of, if you need to, if you want to fill some extra spaces, you can always assign an instructor the task of just making sure, going parent to parent and advertising for you about whatever your special event is. So saying, hey, did you guys know we have this event coming up? It's going to be a lot of fun. Is little Johnny signed up yet? And then they're going to say yes or no, and then they can talk through some of the benefits of the event that we talked about earlier. And if they have any concerns or questions, your instructor can go ahead and face those right then and there, and hopefully get little Johnny to sign up. The next part is once we actually get to the event, you want to make sure that you have a planner. So if your event starts at 7 and it ends at 11, you want to have every single hour planned out. So what we usually do is we'll spend the first 15 minutes or so with just free time on the mat. So we'll have an instructor on the mat with the kids and they can just kind of play around, do whatever, as long as it's safe. If we need to, we can structure it a little bit and just start playing some games that they know, like dodgeball or capture the flag or something like that. Now, after that, we're going to want to make sure that we have a set amount of time where we're playing our games, and then typically we'll have pizza brought in, and we'll have a set time for pizza, and then we'll give them maybe like a little 10-minute break, and we call this our electronics break, so they can play their iPad on their phone or whatever for only about 10 minutes, just kind of let that food settle, and then we're right back to it. So we're right back to our games. We have all of our games planned out, so none of the event is winged at all, so we know what we're doing ahead of time, and then finally we can start to choose the games that are high energy, and then towards the end of the night we can ramp them down so that when mom and dad come to pick them up, that they're all ready to go and they're not super hyped up. One of the most important things about having your plan is limiting downtime. Okay, so this is going from drill to drill or from game to game and moving from one section of your event to the other section of the event. You want to make sure that it runs smoothly, and the best way to do that is to have that planner all written out ahead of time and communicate this with your staff so that they're informed and educated and able to implement the plan. So one of the best things that you can do to make sure that your event is successful is to have a theme. So some of the best themes that we found that work for us is a New Year's theme, because a lot of the parents like to go out, watch the fireworks, celebrate New Year's, things like that. So we say, hey, drop the parents off here and go enjoy yourself. Okay? And a lot of the parents take advantage of that. Same thing for a Valentine's Day sleepover. We can go ahead and schedule one of those and give the parents enough time to plan a date night, and then they can go enjoy themselves as well. Now, another event that we run is a end of the school year. So it's a big time to be able to celebrate. So see, when your kids get out of school, schedule a special event for that day, a parent night out, and then I guarantee that one will do really well. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can do things like a Nerf battle, parent night out, or special event. You could do a zombie one. Zombies always are really cool. A lot of our kids like to do that. When we do this, we come up with zombie-specific games, and we'll have kids on the human side and on the zombie side, and we'll do all sorts of cool games like that. And then we can also do a Halloween sleepover, where typically at ours, we'll tend to do a really cool costume contest, and we'll hold contests for the scariest costume, the funniest costume, and even maybe the most creative costume overall. And if all else fails, kids love games. So break down and have a game night. Grab a couple consoles, set them up along a wall, and then just have video game tournaments going all night long. Or you could do board games, you could do Twister, you could do all sorts of things with games, and it's such a nostalgic thing that a lot of people are going to be interested and sign up for your event. All right, now finally, we want to make sure that everything is cohesive. So if you have a themed event, make sure that your games match your theme. Okay, if you play dodgeball a lot, don't just play the same game of dodgeball and throw, I don't know, zombie in front of it, because then it's just the same game and the kids are going to know it. You got to make sure that even if it's the same old dodgeball game, throw in some sort of cool twist to really make it into a zombie game. So maybe when they get hit with a dodgeball, they become a zombie, and then they have to crawl around, or who knows. You just want to make it fun and entertaining and relate all of your games to your theme. Next, if you're not doing a game night, you do want to make sure that you limit the screen time. Sometimes it's an easy way to give the kids an out, maybe to rest and relax, but what you don't want is the kids to go home and say, oh, I played on my iPad the whole time. Because even if it was only 5, maybe 10 minutes, that was a long time to them, and it was probably fun. So they're going to go home and tell their parents about it when their parents say, hey, what did you do? You know, they're going to say, oh, I played on my iPad. And that's not what you want, because that's going to give the wrong impression to the parents unless the event is centralized around a video game night. Okay? So make sure we limit downtime. Last but not least, have fun. The instructors that are running the event need to have fun as well, so incorporate them into the planning aspect, into the drill or the game aspect, so that they can have some input into what they're going to be doing, so that everyone continues to have fun and be creative. So if it's a theme night, have the staff dress up, have them be able to express their creativity as well, and if you do all of that, it's going to be an amazing night to remember. All right, guys, so that was a lot of food for thought revolving around parent night out and special events. I hope you found 1 or 2 things in there that was helpful for you. Now, don't forget, these are amazing ways that we can help our students develop socially and emotionally. So be sure to communicate those benefits to your parents. When you use that sort of vocabulary and you can spot out some of these things to them, that's just going to help you make yourself look like even more of a child care professional than you already are, and position yourself as a professional in your industry. Finally, finally, don't forget, be creative, have fun, all right? The whole thing is meant to be able to develop better relationships with our students, and by doing that, we're gonna directly improve our retention, which is another big thing in schools these days, is improving our retention, and the key to doing that is improving your relationships. So the more of these events you have, the stronger relationships you're gonna build, and then the more trust you're gonna build with your parents, and then eventually the better your retention is gonna be in the long run. All right, guys, thanks for hanging around. Don't forget, again, hit that like button on the video if you found something cool. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video every Wednesday.